Good day, everyone. Welcome to another session of Module 2. So, this is now our session 2.3, and this is Manners and Etiquette. Okay, so before we get to discuss on our first topic, I have a question here. What comes to mind when you hear the terms manners and etiquette? So, let's get to look into this and understand what manners mean. So first, we are going to look into the nature of manners. So manners, as we define it, are ways of behaving. So it's the way we act, our actions or reactions in different situations, and what should we do in different settings. It's also a social conduct or rules of conduct as shown in general. So these are what are the expected ways of behaving socially as being practiced by the people in our customs and culture. Another, it is a way in which a thing is done or happens. So this involves the methods or ways of performing actions, particularly in social contexts. And lastly, we can also define manners as the traffic lights of human interaction, and this is defined by Dr. Pierre Forny. So it also seems like manners are the guiding light, or it guides us on when to stop, go, and proceed with caution in social settings. Now, where are manners learned or how are manners learned? So manners are primarily learned through a combination of observation, trial and error, and through our common sense and also from our personal experiences. So let's just get to discuss them one by one. So in observation, we get to observe our manners from our parents and the people around us and how things are done. So we see or we learn manners by seeing how others interact, communicate, and behave in different situations. Also, manners are learned from trial and error, which is risky in a sense that we do not know what to expect if we try to do this. Like there are actions that might be okay to a person, but is not okay to others. But still, this can be effective because we can learn if the manners that we have tried to practice is helpful or not. Also, basically, our common sense. And lastly, our personal experiences, wherein in reflecting on our personal experiences and interactions, it helps individuals or it helps us develop a deeper understanding of how our manners impact others. Okay, so that's it for our first topic. So I hope you have learned the definition and have realized and reflected on your manners. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another topic, and we will be discussing on the differences between manners and etiquette. So let's get to see these two, how different they are. So, manners and etiquette are two terms used interchangeably, but they have distinct meaning and implications. Both manners and etiquette revolve around social behavior and are essential for maintaining harmony and courtesy in various settings. First, let's see what manners mean and how we can understand it, and then we differentiate it with etiquette. So first, manners in general reflect someone's level of respect, kindness, and consideration for others. So it is concerned with general behavior and politeness in everyday interactions. It is more of what is right or wrong, and it is more closely related to personal character and reflect an individual's values, empathy, and respect for others. Manners are applicable in both formal and informal settings. Let's say, for example, saying please and thank you, or holding the door for someone, being punctual, or being actively listening to others. Now, let's differentiate manners from etiquette. So, in general, etiquette is a specific code of proper conduct governing society. So it involves specific rules and it is a system of conventional practices and expectations that dictate how individuals should behave in various social situations. It is deeply rooted in cultural norm and can differ significantly across different societies and communities. It provides a framework for individuals to interact respectfully and appropriately in formal settings such as weddings, business meetings, or diplomatic events. Let's say, for example, etiquette includes the dress code that we have to follow in an event or in an area. Let's say, for example, here in school, we have a dress code. Then we also practice table manners. Also, greetings and introductions is also an example of etiquette. So the primary distinction between these two lies in their scopes and specificity. So etiquette focuses on formal occasions and specific protocols, whereas manners encompass broader respectful behavior applicable to various settings. Etiquette is often culturally specific and provides detailed instructions, while manners are more universal and emphasize empathy and consideration for others. So while both etiquette and manners contribute to social harmony and positive interactions, manners are considered more essential in day to day life. Also, good manners form the foundation of respectful and considerate behavior, promoting a sense of community and fostering positive. All right, so that's it for this topic. So I hope you don't get confused on the meaning of manners and etiquette. So you get to understand them both. Hello again, everyone. So in this topic, we are going to discuss on the importance of manners and etiquette. So we'll get to see how good manners and proper etiquette is very crucial. So why is it important for us to practice good manners and proper etiquette? So I have here some keys or some ideas why. First is that it fosters good relationship with others. So good manners show respect and consideration, making others feel valued and appreciated. So this helps build trust and rapport, which is essential for strong and positive relationships. Second, in practicing these two, it creates effective interaction as well as good connections. So proper etiquette ensures clear and respectful communication, reducing misunderstandings and conflicts. It helps in making a positive impression and building meaningful connections with others. Third is that it helps us in attaining our goals. So demonstrating good manners and etiquette can open doors to personal and professional opportunities. People are more likely to support and collaborate with those who are polite and considerate, facilitating the achievement of personal and collective goals. And lastly, in practicing good manners and proper etiquette, we prevent problems from occurring. So, again, as mentioned earlier, adhering to social norms and etiquette can prevent potential conflicts and misunderstandings. It sets clear expectations for behavior, helping to maintain a harmonious and respectful environment. So, as the golden rule says, treat others the way you want to be treated. So we have to be aware of our own behavior. Let us be considerate of individual differences. In this way, this ensures that it meets the needs and expectations of everyone. Okay, so that's it for the importance. So I hope you have reflected on how it is very crucial for us to practice our good manners and proper etiquette in all areas in our lives. Hello, everyone. Welcome again to another topic. So this will be our last topic for this session. And this topic, we are going to evaluate manners and etiquette. So we are going to look into the different practices of good manners and etiquette in different setups. So now let's get to evaluate. our manners and etiquette that we practice in different contexts or in different situations or setups. So, first are the manners at home. So, these are just some of the manners that we practice. So, first we have to carry our own shared of responsibilities. So, taking initiatives and fulfilling our obligations contributes to a harmonious environment and shows consideration for others. Second, we have to do as we are told. So, following instructions from our parents or from authoritative figures in the house presents respect. Then we have to be nice to people around us, show some respect, recognize and respect personal space. So, in respecting others' physical and emotional boundaries, this will help us promote comfort and mutual respect in interpersonal interactions. Then we have to be a good neighbor. So, being considerate of neighbors' needs, maintaining cleanliness, and adhering to community norms contribute to a cohesive and pleasant neighborhood environment. Next, we have manners in the classroom. So these are just some. Let me just identify what is being presented in the slide. First is be on time. So it is very important for a student to be punctual. Then, during classes, we have to silent our mobile phones. Then, do not bring foods or drinks unless permitted by our instructors. Then, of course, in the class, we have to contribute to class discussion when appropriate. We have to avoid side convos, especially when the teacher is discussing or your classmates are sharing their ideas. Then we have to address our instructor properly. So we should say ma'ams or sir in addressing some concerns. Then we have to be attentive always in class. So it's very easy for us to get distracted, but let us keep our focus in our class. Then stay for the entire class. So in the period of your class, you just have to be present in the classroom. Do not, or as much as possible, avoid going out in the classroom during class times. Then avoid making signs that the time is up. So let the teacher just maintain the flow of the discussion and since they also are aware of the class time. Then most importantly, we should not cheat as students. That's a very big manner that we have to consider. Then if there are if there are times where you would be excused or you should be excused, you just have to contact your professor or instructor for this. Then we also have manners in the canteen. So, as we go to the canteen to eat, we have to move fast and as much as possible, no chatting and making our selection of our food. Then we have to the used trays should look neat and be put to the designated area. We have to wait patiently for our turn. Also, when we go to the canteen, we have to make sure that we only go to the canteen if we want to buy food or drinks and do not do other things such as homeworks or projects in the canteen. Be careful not to spill food or drink. Then, after eating, we have or using the table, we have to push the chair back in after in. Then we have to mind our table manners. We have to use our utensils properly. And also importantly that we should keep in mind is that we have to clean as we go. And lastly, be sensitive of the presence of others around you. So keeping noise levels moderate and sharing tables when necessary can demonstrate thoughtfulness towards others. So now, how about we look into the manners and etiquettes in the offices? So, and during the time when we get to work already or have a job, in offices, we should consider the privacy of the person you wish to have a talk with. So you may find a private room for you guys to talk, especially if it's confidential or a sensitive topic. Then do not interrupt when in a meeting, and then knock and greet first if you visit different offices or different departments. Present yourself and concerns properly, and as much as possible, we should not or we should not be loud in the office. Then, in public places, of course, we have to present ourselves well by dressing appropriately, and then do not sound differently or make noise. Follow traffic rules. This is very important. So there are traffic rules and there are traffic lights that we have to follow. So we have to be careful with this. Do not pick your nose in public. Then be firm and polite when asserting your rights. So it's okay to assert. We just have to be respectful and polite in sharing and asserting our rights or our ideas. Then, introduce friends to people you are with properly. And also, most importantly, we have to behave appropriately in public places. Now, how about when you are with peers and friends? So we have to be very careful and be very considerate. Okay, so one of which of the manners that should be practiced is to be on time with the agreed time for meetup. So punctuality shows respect for others' time and commitments. Second is be careful when posting in social media. So before posting, we have to consider the impact of our post on others and the broader community before sharing it. Then we pause before speaking or expressing our thoughts. So we have to take a moment to think before speaking, which this can help us avoid misunderstandings and promote thoughtful communication. Next is to be sensitive with our friends' needs. So showing empathy and understanding towards friends, feelings, and situations strengthens our relationships with our friends. Then never badmouth or never gossip. So refraining from negative talk about others and especially your friends fosters trust and maintains a positive environment. And then be trustworthy. Honor commitments, keep confidences, and demonstrate reliability to build trust with others. Then do not ask rude questions or avoid them. Asking respectful and considerate questions show a sensitivity and respect for others' boundaries. And lastly, we have to listen actively. We have to pay attention and show our genuine interest when others or when our friends are speaking and sharing their experiences. So in social media, this is very important for us since we use social media every day. So here are some of the manners and etiquette that we can follow. First is think before you click. So we have to think twice. So we have to pause and consider the potential consequences of our post or comments before sharing them online. Second, never post personal information. Avoid sharing sensitive details such as your address, phone number, or financial information to protect yourself from identity theft or other risk. Third is your page speaks about you. So therefore, our social media presence can influence how others perceive you professionally and personally. So let us maintain a positive and respectful online image. Fourth is social media is not your life. So it is very important that we balance our online activities with offline interactions and activities to ensure a very healthy lifestyle and perspective. And lastly, we have to be reminded about the Data Privacy Act. So we have to familiarize ourselves with relevant privacy laws and guidelines to understand our rights and responsibilities regarding data protection. Next is during emails or in sending emails, here are some ideas that we have to keep in mind and some points that we have to follow in sending emails. So our emails should start first with our subject, which should be concise, meaningful, and short, and should be direct to the point. Then we follow it with salutation. So we have to use formal greetings like dear, the name of your recipient, then, or we can use Mr., Miss, or Sir, or Ma'am for professional correspondence. Then hi or hello is also more suitable for informal or friendly communication. Then we sign off, or we use conclusion statements with professional closing such as regards, best regards, kind regards, or sincerely. Then in our message content or in our text, we have to keep the email body very concise. We may use bullet points for clarity and avoiding lengthy paragraphs. Also, use readable font size without making it too large, and do not use all caps unless you want to emphasize something. Then, in replying to an email, we have to check first if it needs to be replied to all. Then, lastly, is our signature. So, we have to include our names as well as our contact information to facilitate further communication. Then also, we have to ask ourselves in replying to an email or in sending an email, would I do better not to send it? Or should I use the phone or walk around and talk to the person face to face? Do all these people really need to see this message? Or should I send them privately or just to the person concerned? Then, does the recipient really need to see this? Do you have to reply to the email? Or do they really need to see it? Or maybe just the author will do? Okay, then we have online class etiquettes on during your online classes. So we have to also be mindful of the following. So first is don't be late. So we have to practice punctuality even in online classes. Then we use our proper names in the screen. We have to close the room where we will be staying for our online class and create a dedicated space for online class. Turn on the camera if possible. We have to sit still. No eating unless we are permitted by our facilitators. Interrupt politely when necessary and don't multitask. Focus on the discussion and don't get distracted. Mute your microphones until it's your turn to speak. And lastly, be prepared. Even though it's an online class, but we have to prepare our minds, body, heart, and soul. Okay, so that ends our topics. Now, here are some key points to remember for this whole discussion on manners and etiquette. First is that we should practice and remember how to be respectful. So treat others with courtesy, consideration, and respect their personal space and opinions. Second is politeness. So we have to use polite language, gestures, and behaviors in interactions to show appreciation and consideration. Third is we have to actively listen to understand others' perspectives and demonstrate genuine interest. Fourth is to practice punctuality. We have to be on time for appointments and commitments to show also respect for others' time and expectations. Fifth is about adaptability. So we have to adjust our behavior to fit different social and cultural contexts or events or activities. This will help us respect diverse norms and expectations. Then lastly, for the point to remember, we have to always remember gratitude. Express appreciation and thanks when appropriate and showing gratitude for kindness in every assistance that we ask for. So these points summarizes the fundamental principles of manners and etiquette that contributes to positive relationships and effective communication in various settings. So, in conclusion, practicing good manners and etiquette fosters respect, harmony, and understanding in our interactions at home, school, and in society. So, by embodying kindness, consideration, and cultural awareness, we enhance relationships and positively impact our communities, fostering a world where mutual respect and dignity thrive. So, before I end this discussion, what is one thing you learned about manners and etiquette? Care to share? Or if you have any questions, you may also feel free to contact your facilitators through email or FB chat. And these are the references that I used for this session. So that ends our session for this lesson in session 2.3 and also for module 2. And I hope you have learned something from this module and you may apply the lessons that you learned in your everyday life. Keep in mind your values, your principles, and beliefs that you may uphold them not only for a better you but also for a better society. Stay well, everyone.